Hello, and welcome to another edition of Michael's YouTube channel, wherein he does unboxings and also reviews Blu-rays and stuff, and sometimes gay porn now. Yeah.
23 years of living with nothing but gutter hypes and junkies. I have thousands of friends, if you will. They're all junkies, and there isn't one, not one, who didn't start smoking marijuana.
This is going to be a short video because there's not really too much to say about this particular film or this particular release, even though it is an interesting one. It's all very simple. So we're going to start today's episode with a very special bonus unboxing. Yay! Yay! Oh my gosh! Yay! Bonus unboxing. That's so much fun. Okay, so what we have here is my latest shipment from Ronin Flicks. Yes, sirree, Bob, my latest box from Ronin Flicks. I quite like them, mostly because they ship fast for me. And yeah, this is not really a package that would necessitate its own video because it's just three random things, but they're pretty cool things, and they are future topics of discussion here on the channel, so I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's do that. If you just want to watch my review of Drug Stories, just skip ahead to the time on the screen, and yeah, you don't have to worry about this. Anyway, I got my shipping notification. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, is this a magnet? I got a Lone Wolf McQuade magnet. Lone Wolf magnet. That's exciting. Lone Wolf McQuade magnet. I'm probably not going to buy that release, although it is David Carradine fighting Chuck Norris, so there is that. We'll see. We will see. Ah, paper! All right. Okay, what could this be? What could it be? I don't know. It could be literally anything. Jesus. Whatcha! Fucking Christ. Alright. Whoa, look at that. We got stuff. Yes, sir. We've got Blood Tide from Arrow. We've got Dream Demon from Arrow. Very excited. This, by the way, I'll talk about this when I review it, but I really like this cover. It's so shiny. Oh my, this is a great slipcover. It's no Vinegar Syndrome, but what is? And then Blood Tide was Nico Mastorakis produced, I believe. Yeah, written and produced by Nico Mastorakis. We love Nico Mastorakis here, even when he doesn't do terribly great. Nico's wonderful. I love that Arrow is doing so much Nico Mastorakis stuff. But most importantly, really excited. Solid Metal Nightmares. Ooh, the Shinya Tsukamoto film collection. Oh boy, oh that's exciting. Let's really quick. You know what? This is gonna be quick. Why not? Let's just dive real quick into this thing. I know that you came here to this video for a Drug Stories review. Well, you're getting a quick little sexy unboxing. I'm crossing streams. We're gonna be talking Arrow and AGFA today, baby. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Take it off. Yeah, baby. All right. Oh, yes, sir. Not a single damage to it. I love it. Goodness gracious. I'm assuming that these are maybe... Oh, yep, you got alternate artwork. That's pretty cool. Huh. Again, I apologize. This is not what this video is about, but I had to... This is a really this is good stock they're putting these on. Yes, puppy likey. Okay, boop. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm excited for those releases. Where do I put this in my... How do I do this? My office is so fucked up now. I just cleaned it, and it's just decimated. Well, that's nice. Okay, cool. All right, so, cool. Drug Stories from AGFA and Something Weird Video coming together to really present us with a wild collection of films. So as you can see, first off, the slipcover. This is the Vinegar Syndrome exclusive slipcover. So if you order from Vinegar Syndrome, get the slipcover. On the back, well, first off, on the front, it's a version of the artwork with some nice embossed lettering. And on the back, you kind of have the story of like the history of these drug films being put out by Something Weird Video, and how everything kind of came together in a kind of a short, simple presentation. This is a cool way of doing it because normally on the back of the slipcover you wouldn't have a fucking wall of text, but here you do, and it's very informative. So that's pretty nifty. It's like getting a special little secret booklet. And if we get the actual Blu-ray out here, we have 2 versions of the artwork. Nothing too crazy there. I have it on this kind of purpley version. It's basically the same thing either which way. And there's one weird thing about this release as far as the packaging. Also, the Blu-ray, it's a disc that exists in there. No DVD, just a Blu-ray. So on the back here, you'll notice that the special features, it shows it's a 2K, or new 2K preservations of these uncut scary film classics, right? So you have the list of all the films that are going to be in this collection. Awesome. And then the bottom it says, plus drug stories, narcotic nightmares, and hallucinogenic hell rides, a full-length mixtape from the AGFA team. Okay, so that's cool. That's awesome. I can go ahead and tell you right up front, that's all cool. What exactly is the feature here? Because on the front, it's from this comes, let's see, it's a Florrie Fisher quote. We'll get into her. Let's see, we have the AGFA and Something Weird logo, and then the Scary Film Archives Volume 1, Drug Stories. So, Drug Stories, Narcotic Nightmares, and Hallucinogenic Hell Rides was basically a collection of snippets from several of these drug stories collected into a single sort of film. It's about a minute, I think it's an hour and 11 minutes long. I could be wrong there. Here's the right time if I'm wrong. So that premiered at Fantastic Fest in 2018, and cool. That's awesome. And it's a cool feature. So here's my issue, and it's a dumb issue. It's a really stupid issue. I shouldn't even bring it up. But if you're high right now, maybe you'll find this interesting. So the special features, it's just everything that's on the disc. There's no feature. It's just the special features. It's one of those like borderline OCD things where it just bugs me because the only other option, I guess, for the special feature or for the actual feature is selecting play all. That basically gives you one 3.5-hour movie version, which is just every short film, one after the other. But then those short films are the special features. I don't know. I don't know. It just bugs me. It bugs me. It's stupid. It shouldn't bug me. I'm an asshole for it bugging me, but here we are. All that being said, excellent packaging. I love the menu. I love the presentation of it. I'm not a big fan of how if you go in to select the films, it just pops you into the middle of the timeline. If I want to watch one short film, I'd like to just see that timeline. I like it to be one of its own video file. But instead, the film selection is really just a glorified chapter selection, which can be a little frustrating because I don't know how long these movies are because it's just popping me in the middle of the timeline. So that's a small gripe. Yeah, small gripe. So Drug Stories covers the years 1957 through 1971 through 11 different short films from that, rather long period. So a lot of 60s stuff. And they're all just various anti-drug PSAs. Some are actually fairly informative. Some of them obviously want to do good and are there's a lot of suggestion that maybe you shouldn't just judge people as potheads and losers or whatever. Maybe you shouldn't give in to these stereotypes about a certain drug, usually LSD. But there's also plenty of fear-mongering and plenty of trippy visuals. These never get to be quite as insane as something like Reefer Madness, which of course basically says if you smoke marijuana, you're gonna go fucking nuts, or knuckin' futz, I suppose. It never goes that far, but there's plenty of trippy imagery nonetheless that should help you have a good time. These are mostly pretty entertaining sober, but most of them make for highly pleasurable experiences if you're stoned out of your mind. The Alice in Wonderland riff, in particular, is absolutely wild.
Have some pep pills, uppers, amphetamines, speed. Make you feel super good.
It reminded me a lot of that show Angela Anaconda from I think the late 90s, early 2000s, which oddly enough was another great thing to watch stoned. So, hey, you already have your double feature right there. Just watch Angela Anaconda on YouTube, wherever the fuck you can find it. And Drug Stories. Bada bing, bada boom. It's like 8 hours of entertainment right there. I got you covered.
I don't know how high I'm supposed to be anymore.
It also has the balls to call out that fucking caterpillar for just sitting around and smoking dope all day. So this one, probably my favorite short of the bunch, just because it's so outlandish and doesn't seem to understand that it is creating a perfect experience for people who are just completely fucked up on drugs. And that's magical. That kind of arrogance just, it makes me live. Gives me air to breathe. And then there's LSD 25, which is a fairly standard issue short film about LSD, but it makes the interesting choice to give LSD an actual voice. So LSD is a character.
My full chemical name is dextrolysergic acid diethylamide tartrate 25. But as everyone knows, I'm called LSD for short.
I'm assuming that it's some kind of hive mind, and all LSD has the same voice, which is an odd thing, especially when you consider that LSD is generally is eaten. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but here we go. LSD 25. It's great, especially when it's shitting on Satanists. That's probably my favorite part. Just such an oddball little gem. Some other films, like the Robert Mitchum narrated The Distant Drummer, are a little more dry. These feel almost like a government-mandated Mondo film aimed at adults trying to comprehend the rising drug culture among the youth. The most interesting aspect is how intelligently these more outwardly level-headed films sneakily present their seemingly unbiased approach.
I think what we as adults have to do is to invite the youngsters to join our adult world and make it a better place.
They suggest that it's okay that young people like having long hair, often with the note that it's hard to tell the girls from the boys, and that straight society must reach out and help these misguided youths because they are what these foolish drug users are rebelling against. Drugs, Drinking, and Driving tries to be funny by using a borderline incomprehensible Mission Impossible parody to open up. I'm not kidding. Just to make a joke about smuggling and to make the point that there are readily available drugs all around us. Still, other films go so far as to call marijuana a dangerous drug, basically wearing its ignorance on its sleeve in an attempt to sell phony science and make that age-old case of marijuana leading to far more heavy drugs like heroin. Also, huffing paint is apparently a step toward marijuana, which I feel like if you're moving up from huffing paint to smoking marijuana, that's a good thing. Marijuana's fine. Huffing paint? Bad. Don't huff paint. Smoke joints. And you know, it's no wonder that there was such a huge problem with drugs in the 70s and 80s. I'd be strung out 24/7 as well if I had to grow up watching all these fucking bizarre films telling me that drugs were bad while also giving me the trippiest shit in the world and sometimes just being fake as fuck. All the films in this disc are pretty lovingly restored. There's going to be some problems here and there because of what they are. These are probably just, I believe these are just straight scans of the negative, maybe with the audio cleaned up a little bit, but they're scanned in 2K and they look about as good as they have any right to. Most of them are available to just stream on YouTube if you feel so inclined, but this is going to be the better experience overall. Also, I mean, support AGFA. They do important work. I mean, they're an amazing company. You should support them. There's no other special features. I was a little disappointed in that. I felt like there should have been like maybe, I don't know, a short video on film restoration, maybe, you know, preservation of these kind of films, maybe a commentary for one or two of the segments. Really, I mean, anything. It doesn't really matter. Just some sort of extra. And even though there is that big special features chunk at the bottom, there's really no special features. It's Scare Film Archives, so I assume that the main feature that I'm still confused about is that 3.5 hour compilation, in which case you're seeing everything right there. Everything that's in the mixtape minus an untitled film at the beginning is in those films. So it's culled from those movies. So, you know, I don't really understand why they even have a special features bit other than to say that the mixtape is included. By the way, there's a bunch of mixtapes that you can I say a bunch. There's a few mixtapes on the AGFA website that you can download for $1 a piece. I'd highly recommend doing that. That's a good way of supporting AGFA while also watching more crazy bullshit. So, you know, get more crazy bullshit in your life. I highly recommend Drug Stories. It is probably not for everybody. I'm working on a lot of scripts right now. One of them does involve this type of film. It's kind of what I'm basing everything on is this kind of movie, or these kind of movies rather. And so for me, it's a valuable research tool while also being a lot of fun. Next time I'm stoned out of my mind, I'm probably going to put one of these on because holy shit, they're wild as hell. That said, if you're not into drug PSAs from this time period, don't buy it. It's going to be worthless to you. There's no point. So that's Drug Stories. That's all I got to say. It's a pretty simple release. Nothing too crazy about it. Now, all of this is really fun and silly, and I hope that you pick up the Blu-ray and you have a good time. It's great that we can look back and laugh at the ridiculousness of the war on drugs. It was a ridiculous thing. It was self-parodying, as we can see from these films. But that's not to take away from the fact that there are still many, many people, tens if not hundreds of thousands of Americans still in prison to this day because of fairly innocuous drug offenses, a lot of them involving marijuana. According to the Pew Research Center, 40% of the 1.65 million total drug arrests in the US in 2018 were for marijuana-related offenses. And that huge amount is the lowest it's been in at least 20 years, down from 52% of all arrests in 2010. 9 in 10 of those arrests is for simple possession. What makes this all so much more disturbing is that while state after state continues to legalize marijuana, it's still federally illegal, creating the eternal possibility that those enjoying new modern regulations of the drug could one day find themselves in hot water despite more open minds on the state level. That's not even taking into consideration the other basically harmless drugs like LSD and peyote are still Schedule I drugs and therefore could wind up sending you to prison and ruining your life simply because you wanted to have a good time. Now that's a bad trip. I suck butts.